What up, guys? Yes, I already know the answer to the questions that I'm asking. Alright? So when I say, would it be possible to modify the inverter to incorporate Bedini technology to convert the back EMF produced by the motor to recharge the battery system? I already know the answer. I'm just getting this thing to confirm the answer. He says, yes, it's possible to modify an inverter to incorporate Bedini technology to convert the back EMF produced by the motors to recharge the battery system. Perfect. The Bedini technology is a method of extracting energy from the back EMF generated by an electric motor, which can be used to recharge a battery system. It is based on the principle of regenerative braking, where the energy that would have been wasted as heat during deceleration is instead captured and reused. Same principle. It's not the same thing, but it's the same principle. However, incorporating this technology into an inverter is not a straightforward task and requires a good understanding of power electronics, motor control, and energy harvesting techniques. It also requires access to the appropriate circuit diagrams, software tools, and programming languages, as well as the knowledge of how to properly use them. Perfect. The design and implementation of a Bedini circuit is not a standard feature in commercial inverters, and it requires a good understanding of the circuit and design of the behavior of the back EMF. So they don't already use Bedini technology in inverters to recapture the back EMF, to make the battery system last longer. Why? Because you take a vehicle that has let's say a 300-mile range, you could extend that range in the motor control system with Bedini technology and recharge that battery anytime your motor is running. Anytime you're running, you're recharging. And then if anytime you're braking, you're recharging with regenerative braking, then you're always recharging to a certain degree. So I ask about the efficiency of the permanent magnet three-phase motors. Are they not the most efficient and most powerful motors in the world? And it says permanent magnet three-phase motors are known for their high efficiency, and their efficiency can vary depending on the specific design and application. The efficiency of a permanent magnet three-phase motor can be as high as 96 to 97%, although typical values are around 93 to 95%. And blah, 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 blah. So, I asked, by incorporating Bedini technology to inject back into the system, would that not make the motor even that much more efficient? And he says the Bedini technology is a method of extracting energy from the back EMF generated by an electric motor and using it to recharge a battery system. By incorporating this technology, it is possible to increase the overall efficiency of the motor battery system by capturing, not the motor, but the motor battery system, by capturing energy that would have been wasted as heat during deceleration and reusing it. No, it's not just during deceleration. Blah, blah, blah. Then he gives these huge disclaimer answers. And I say, cool, dude. Do you know about Heins and his quantum motor, which operates at infinite efficiency? And he tries to say, no, I don't know who you're talking about. And it's because I misspelled his last name. I had to look it up. And then he tells me, yeah, Heins is a Canadian engineer and inventor who has developed a motor technology that he claims can operate at over-unity efficiency and produce more power output than the input power He calls this technology the quantum electric motor. This technology is not considered to be a conventional motor. It is more like a generator. Heins claims that the motor utilizes a principle called the dynamic electromagnetic paradox to create a self-sustaining electromagnetic field that generates more power than it consumes. However, this claim has not been independently verified, and there are no published papers or scientific research that supports it. The technology has been met with skepticism and criticism by experts in the field. It's important to be cautious of such claims and to verify them by consulting experts in the field, and also to check if they have been independently verified by any reputable research institution or have been published in any peer-reviewed scientific journals. Of course. And according to him, the Heins law cancels Lenz law, correct? Heins claims that his technology operates based on a principle that he calls the Heins law, which he says cancels out the Lenz law. The Lenz law states that the direction of the induced EMF in a closed loop of wire is such that it opposes the change that caused it. In other words, it is a principle that explains the behavior of induced EMF and current in a closed circuit, i.e., generator armature reaction. When you put a load on a generator, there's a negative force that pushes against you, that puts that generator under a load. Heins claims that this technology is able to generate more power output than no. Yes. Heins claims that this technology is able to generate more power output than the input power by creating a self-sustaining electromagnetic field that generates more power than it consumes, and that this is achieved by canceling out the Lenz law. And that's basically a huge disclaimer answer, but it's correct because he's reversing Lenz law and implementing his own law, Heins law. And I know how he does it because I've researched this guy. He does it by delaying the current phase on the generator. He delays the load phase, the current phase, the phase of the current. He just shifts it. So that it no longer pushes against the motor. It no longer works against the generator, making it hard to turn when you put it under a load. It makes it easy to turn. It actually assists the generator when you put it under a load, which is why it's infinite efficiency. Yeah, so I jump back to Bedini and would it extend the range, and by incorporating this technology, it is possible to increase the overall efficiency of the motor battery system. He's not going to come right out and say it, so in theory, incorporating a Bedini circuit into an EV system could potentially extend the range of the vehicle by capturing some of the energy that would have been wasted. All of the energy that would have been wasted. Not some, it's all the back EMF. Every time that motor fires on each phase, there's back EMF there. Every time it fires and then turns off, there's back EMF every time it turns off. And it does that thousands of times per second. Every time it runs. So anytime it's running, it's constantly producing a back EMF, which they don't do anything with it. It just sits there. They just block it instead of rerouting it into a battery system, into a battery management system. So he gives me that stupid disclaimer answer, and yeah. So, anyways, I don't know if a whole lot of you out there know who Heins is, but he's pretty brilliant, and he's got a lot of good videos, and he shows his devices running, and he demonstrates them, and he explains in detail how they work, how it works, how his principles works. He's got charts and all kinds of stuff. He's been doing this quite a while. He's even got a motorcycle that he's incorporating this technology into to demonstrate it. Not just on the bench, but to demonstrate it in an actual vehicle. So, that's what I like about Heins. And he has people coming in from different universities to demonstrate his product. To demonstrate his discovery of this technology. Anyways, I just thought you'd find that an interesting piece.